Yo, what's good, YouTube? I'm back again with another one. In this video, we're going to be covering the most craziest conversation from a brand new podcast on YouTube that happened to come across my feed. I watched the video and I was like, let's jump on it. Let's go.
A scary statistic that 90% of men are no longer, when they are victims of paternity fraud, 90% of men do not stay with the child. They do not stay with the child. Once they find out the child is not theirs, they move on, regardless of how old the child is. And Oti, I find that to be quite disturbing.
Let's see who she finds it disturbing from, right? Let's go.
Disturbing because let's say the child is 10 years old. How can you erase 10 years of memory just because that child was not yours? Someone that was calling you father, somebody that you were changing their diapers.
Someone that was calling you father. Well, if I'm under the impression that I'm their father, and I'm not, but they're definitely your kid, of course, I have all right to be angry. Or I have all right to say, well, after 10 years, it's not my kid. Definitely easier said than done, right? Because my oldest is 6, and that's 6 years, right? If I found out tomorrow she wasn't mine, and I know she's mine, but if I found out tomorrow she wasn't mine, I could see how it would be very difficult to disassociate myself as her father, even though in the scenario I'm giving you, she's not mine. But I love her so much, it's like, I can't just tomorrow be like, you know what, you lied. That's not my daughter anymore. I'm childless. I have 2 kids, but let's say, whatever, I'm childless. That is easier said than done. Let's go.
Somebody that you were feeding. How can you automatically detach those emotional feelings? I feel like that's, I understand the pain, but that's almost kind of heartless. What do you think?
It's heartless. Like, you have to understand the woman needs. Instead of saying, you know what, it's hard for me to fathom how you could detach yourself from the child after being lied to, and after a woman has put something on you, or put a responsibility on you that's not your responsibility, but she's not trying to get to that point. She wants to automatically put it on the man. Like, you are wrong for feeling away, right? Or having a responsive emotion to something I lied about for 10 years. And it's not just a lie. It's like, every day I'm standing by the lie for 10 years. Tell me how is it your fault as the man? She's trying to say as the man, it's your fault. How could you be so heartless? How could you be so heartless?
So crazy how the real heartless thing is what we're overlooking. That you pinned another human's child on me. That is heartless. That is actually very disgusting behavior. But we're gonna overlook that and focus on the man that got spited, right? And his reaction to your actions. And it now becomes about his reaction, not about your actions of being a whore. It's not even about that. It's now about him reacting to the whore's ways.
Right.
You see the problem right there. You have automatically judged a woman that she was being a whore.
This is what I'm talking about. Men, we're never given this type of leniency. The fact she said, wait, you don't even know what the woman been through. Holy smack.
Got pregnant by another person and pinned it on me. That's whore behavior.
That is not whore behavior because you don't know the details. You don't know if she was.
You don't know the details. What details? That she busted open and had a man come in her, and then for the next 10 years forced me to raise it? It's crazy.
Essayed. You don't know if
Essay.
she
They
was
love
having a
going to that.
drunken night,
Oh
she
my
didn't know where
God.
she ended up on the bodega.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything that happened.
Okay.
You don't even know if maybe
I love this.
She used IVF
Yo,
and
let 'em
she
cook.
thought it was yours, but it ended up being a doctor's that maybe she doesn't know.
Okay.
These things happen, and we don't even give room for the woman to give you an explanation. Instead, all you're just like, oh, she's being a whore.
I'm
I can't stand women like this. Like, Fellas, if your lady is friends with a woman like this, you got to be careful because she would justify every day for the 10 years. Girl, you're so right. Things happen, girl. This ain't your fault. This ain't your fault. If he's a good man, he'll stay there. If he's a good man, Savannah.
Brain cells. What's going on right now, Emma?
If he was a good man, Savannah,
How can you
what?
have a child that have been calling you dad for 10 years? That is
Okay.
mean.
Let's
That
clear
is
something up.
mean.
Let's clear something up. First of all, right? If I was to be in a relationship,
Yes.
I'll marry somebody,
Yes.
and I find out 10 years later after marriage that this child that I've been raising is not my own.
Yes.
I've already bonded with the child.
Yes.
Based on who I am, I might
Yes.
not leave that child.
Okay.
Right? I will still want to have a relationship.
Thank you.
But any guy who decides I don't want to do it again, I fully understand that, because you have to also understand this one thing. People, you would
look at her face. She gave him the up down like, nigga, how dare you not stand by her? You don't know if she been essayed that 1%. You don't know. She didn't tell you.
men are overlooking is a man, because the general consensus is men's feelings don't mean shit. This man is spided, bro. That's a very painful thing to go through as a man. Bro, you've been raising a human being, a child, that you bonded with this child for 10 years. You've been raising this child. You invested money, time, emotion, everything to this child. So now find out it's not even your own. You've been deceived. And then now you don't even get the luxury of feeling whatever emotions. Because think about feelings, right? You don't control how the feeling comes. You control how you react to the feeling, right? So now you're feeling this emotion of anger, betrayal, all kinds of things, right? But because your feelings don't matter as a man, you're not even allowed to feel them. And whatever you...
It's not that you're not allowed to feel those feelings, right? Because we're gonna feel it. But imagine that one remedy to fixing that pain is being attached to the lie after finding out it was a lie. Like, you found out that she lied, it's not your kid. And what's gonna make you feel a little bit better is the relationship between you and the lie. You and the lie for oncoming time. And she's in her head gonna be like, well, it all worked out. It all just worked out.
Matty girl, go suck your mother!
However you feel is irrelevant, because now society has dictated how you're supposed to feel as a man. It's your own feelings. You feel how you feel. And if you're feeling how you're feeling, and that feeling is like, I can't do this. There's some people who they don't have it in them. Like, just that, knowing that information of this is not your child, it alters the whole pH balance of his brain self. He don't know how to wrap his head around, like, how do I care for this child actively? Yeah, like, how, like, you can't, and that's a big thing. But the thing is, nobody cares about men's feelings. Your feeling as a man, No, listen. Your feeling as a man means nothing. That's
not.
And I know why he keeps saying that, because, like, he also admitted another man, like, if it happened to another man and he decided not to be a part of that kid's life, he said, I'd understand. Like, we empathize with other men that go through that. We don't be like, yo, you a bad dude. You're not gonna stick by her lie. You're not gonna stand by that. We don't do that. We all would feel bad. We'd be like, damn, son, we hate to be you, but that's a sad situation, right? And some very few women will say, yo, she's wrong for that, you know, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, guys, you know, this situation, men do and will feel bad for other men. We just won't, like, give him flowers and pat his back or, you know, do all the extra stuff. But we definitely gonna be like, yo, I feel your pain, brother. And however you want to do this, we stand by you. Heard me?
Not true.
no, it is. And it does. You actually just validated my whole point.
Right.
It doesn't, right? Because if it does, you wouldn't sit here talking about how a man is reacting to his feelings. He look, and his feelings. Hold on. His feelings. This is about being lied to. Because when you not start giving us example, oh, you don't know if it's IVF or she was raped. We're not talking about those examples.
But those things
Those are,
happen.
I get that, but
You
that's not.
automatically thought
Oh,
that maybe
God.
this child was from infidelity, or maybe
See.
she purposely tried to
Okay. So we can direct this thing on a normal, sensible track.
Okay.
The DNA thing we're talking about now, right? Is it about a woman cheating and then the child is from another?
It could be.
Or
a
is it?
mistake.
No. I don't want.
It can be a mistake. How is letting another man come inside you a mistake? Like, think about the logic. Women know how their bodies work, right? I've had 2 kids intentionally, and I know the difficulty on intentionally having kids. It's not that difficult, but you're not gonna get on your first try. You're gonna have to go back to back. The fact that you are trying to be here like, what if it was an accident? What if it was a mistake? That doesn't happen. That does not happen. Just like you would not allow a man to be like, yo, I had sex with her by mistake. I fell into it by mistake. No, that's not how it happens. It's planned, especially as a woman, because you choose who you let inside of you, right? Men will take what we can get, but you guys intentionally choose who you do and who you don't want inside you. So the fact that you're trying to be like, what if it was a mistake? What is the mistake?
It could be. Let us know which one I focused on now.
Okay.
Because if we're going to focus on,
they didn't give any specific examples of how
Okay.
this child was.
but the
procreated.
general
But
consensus.
you automatically said she had to be a whore, and I
She
said
is.
there are outliers that do not fit into the whore perspective.
There's 0.5% that make sure you can't put the blame on the 99.5%.
Or narrative. And mistakes happen, accidents happen, and things come out to be, or maybe the child was even switched at the hospital.
Okay, cool.
But now you are saying,
Right, but if the child switched at the hospital, it wouldn't be her kid either, right? You're giving a whole different scenario. If the baby was switched at birth, it wouldn't be neither their kid, and both of them would be like, okay, we've been bamboozled. Not one of them who had the baby, the other one who thought it was his baby, and then 10 years later comes to find out not his baby, and to find out it's his fault if he leaves. Crazy. What if it was a mistake?
that forget 10 years of investing in that child emotionally, physically, financially, all because you now find out, oh, it wasn't yours in the first place. Boom, that's it, you're done. Forgetting the fact that this child only knows you as their father. To me, I feel like, yeah, I care about how you feel. Yes, you can feel whatever type of way, but if I did not do this to you on purpose, why are you automatically abandoning this child?
So
Yo, that logic was crazy. Like, what if it was a mistake? You're giving all the blame, and you never know. You never know.
mother's baby, father's maybe, right? So when you have a kid, we know it's your kid, right? You know for a fact it's yours. You felt that mug. You felt it come out your body, right?
Yeah.
So you know that's yours. I don't necessarily know how planted that in there. There's no way to know but DNA, right? Now, in this example you gave, right? So I can clear things up. I'm going off this whole notion of when they say, oh, paternity fraud or whatever is alluding to the fact of, okay, a woman cheated or did something, right? And tried to pin this baby on this guy, knowing that it's not his own.
Yeah.
Right? So now, those aspects of rape and that's what rape is. IVF, all those other things, right? Now, if those things happen and she did not tell the guy, right?
But what if she didn't know?
So she don't know, say she get raped.
Maybe she did, but she didn't know that it was going to result.
What are we talking about
Maybe
now?
she did not know it was going to result into that. There's some women.
Stop
who
letting her
don't
get
know.
away with this.
No. For example,
She's ashamed.
So
I don't want
she's
my boyfriend
ashamed.
to think I slept with another man. So let me just.
So now what is he going to think?
quiet about it.
So she's worried about the shame that she could have slept with another man, and that she don't want her partner to know, so he don't start thinking things. And if you watch my prior episode where Shorty was like, one of my flaws is that when I try to communicate, because I'm all over the place, sometimes I be all over the place. And then she blamed that on her communication being bad. And this is that same thing. It's like she's trying to, maybe you weren't gonna take it well, so that's why I'm either not gonna tell you or I'm gonna lead you away from the truth. Like, this is crazy.
That's foolishness. Because now
It's not foolishness.
it is.
It is.
I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you how it is foolishness.
Okay.
Right? And I need you to stay on track with this.
Okay.
Try your hardest.
Try your hardest.
So now, this woman got essayed.
Yeah.
Right? She's aware it happened, it occurred. And she's aware, right? This person didn't use protection. This can lead to potential pregnancy
Cheating. So she's cheating. Yes.
or something, right?
Intentionally.
After it happened, she decided, I won't tell my husband.
Lying.
Maybe I'm feeling shame or whatever reason she has, right? Why she won't tell him. Then she now realizes, I'm pregnant. And she's aware, I got essay. So this thing could be that guy where essay me. He owned. And she's still deciding I won't tell my husband. Right? Because of whatever feeling she's feeling. That's make it more valid. Right? So now 9 months go by, the baby is now born. The guy now does DNA. Because maybe because that baby is looking.
9 months go by and you don't tell your potential partner that 9 months ago exactly you've been SA'd. Just imagine. This is the type of man you'd have to be to do the same lie in backwards. You found out you got AIDS, right? Something crazy happened to you 9 months ago, and you say nothing until 9 months after. And then imagine being like, I didn't know. And you knew the whole time. What you did 9 months ago, or whatever you did to contract that, and then 9 months later you're like, I don't know, it could have been SA'd. He should be like, I was SA'd 9 months ago, so maybe, I don't know. Crazy.
Light skin, black skin, or whatever reason he feels it's not my own. He now goes and does DNA test, and comes out it's not his own. And now at this point, it's not where you now feel the fear have not left your body now. You cannot open up and say, oh, they SA me before. Right? And now he's supposed to not take that with validity. When the time for it to be valid is when it happened, you tell him almost everything's up. Then he now after that, if he's a good guy, he'll console you, oh sorry, but I'll be there for you. Then later you not say, oh, I'm pregnant. You wonder, I said she's pregnant. The chances of him even staying is even heightened at that point. If you let him know, he now has he cannot make an informed decision and decide, okay.
If he's saying that if you let him know that you've been SA'd 9 months later, or immediately after you've been SA'd, like immediately after you've been SA'd, even if you tell nobody and you know that the person who SA'd you actually R'd you, then the first thing you would want to do is make sure that you didn't get pregnant from that. Like, imagine just leaving it alone. Like, you've been SA'd on a Monday and then Tuesday you just move on with life. You go back to kissing your boyfriend or husband. You go back to making love, cooking dinner, and as if nothing happened. Son, come on, son.
I love this woman. I feel raise her man my own. I'll forge ahead with it. But you've not put him in a situation where you don't have that luxury. Because now everything you say looks like bull. You got essayed, you never told me.
Right.
And you know how, first of all, let's even look deeper. Let's even look deeper into this. You got essayed by somebody, obviously raw because a pregnancy don't enter. And you now slept with me. After that, you didn't even inform me.
Right.
You put me at risk.
Right.
But your feelings is valid.
She don't give a damn. She nodding because she's listening, kinda.
Right? Whatever happens, it doesn't mean anything because now you the essay. So it's only that your emotions like. But the essay where they essay you as my wife, the repercussions of it, I'm not feeling it, but it doesn't matter to me. Like, my feelings on it is irrelevant because, hey man, now you were the essay, right? So that's what I'm saying. Your feelings, a woman's feelings, holds more water than a man in society. Our feelings don't mean shit. And the sooner every man out there understands this, right? Your feelings only mean stuff to you, nobody else. So you figure out how you can deal with your feelings, whatever is best for you. Don't worry about it's you, because nobody sent your papa. Nobody sent your papa at all. You see this person, they really Eva, you shocked me today.
No, you have shocked me because
you shocked me today.
Let's look at
today
this from another perspective. So you are telling me now that every SA victim must report immediately.
If she's married, if she's sensible and she's married.
No. Married.
Like, listen to the logic. Every woman who's been assaulted criminally should have to say something abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Right? If a man has contracted something, he should tell you. 100% of the time. 100% of the time.
Let's say not married. You don't know any kind of situation. You don't know how bad it was. You don't know how brutal it was. You don't know the kind of fear you have put in that woman to not be able to trust you with that information. You are
crazy, yo. I'm telling you, if your female is friends with a female like this, you in trouble, brother. You in trouble. She's gonna be in her ear telling her that all her sins has been forgiven. And every single day that she lives through that trauma, and she doesn't tell her husband, but her girl gonna know that it's okay because it happens. Shit happens. That's crazy.
And not even considering that. Now you are saying that there's a statute of limitation when it comes to timing. That as soon as it happens, you must tell me. So you want me to relieve my trauma immediately? Why not just put it on? Oh,
So you want to relieve your trauma later now? Because you go relieve them eventually.
How about I'm trying to...
Right. So she is concerned about the current trauma that she didn't do to herself, right? She's a victim. She's talking about that current trauma, and instead of solving it, right, getting to an answer or justice on that situation, she wants to pass the trauma and injustice on to her partner, husband, boyfriend, whatever. She's gonna pass it on to him 10 years later. She's gonna destroy him. She's gonna destroy the child because some random man came in and essayed her in this small hypothetical.
Forget about this trauma.
But Pekin don't come and the Pekin will be my own. So
I
now you cannot
don't
forget
know
it.
the baby was going to come.
You
didn't
So
know.
you have now forgotten the love that you have for me. You've now forgotten the fact that...
To transfer off the responsibility of, I did not know. Maybe she does not know she was pregnant. Who cares if she knew or not? Like, you've been essayed. 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later, you missed your period. You're not saying nothing. You're saying nothing.
I was faithful to you. You not forget the fact that you know if I'm going here, she's here. I trust this, I trust that. You have forgotten all of that because now it no longer matters because a baby came out of me refusing to leave that trauma.
No. You see the way
You have now put it that, oh, we
Oh my God!
Right.
about your
God.
feelings. You have now
Hey.
put it in.
My body's
that
peppering me. My
we
body's peppering me.
don't care about your feeling because we don't want to relive our trauma. I think it is unfair for you as a man to automatically say, wow, she was a whore. And that is how this child came. And now forget you that have built years of trust with. Forget this child that I've even also bonded with. I think that men really need to look within themselves and say, what makes a true father? Is it that you came out of me or the emotions and the time I have invested in you? What really makes a father a father? Because there are men that actually produce children that still do not bond with those children as much as their stepfathers. So instead of you to look at...
You see what she's trying to do? She's trying to construe consensual relationships, right? A stepfather who loves his stepson, not a father who doesn't know the kid that he loves isn't his because of a trauma that Shorty lied about 10 years ago. Like, you're trying to mix things in that don't mix, sweetheart. Those don't mix. Yes, some people may love their stepfather. I love my stepfather. He cool. Absolutely. But my stepfather was never under the impression that I'm his. My mom didn't lie to my stepfather and say, you know what? I was, or whatever, I was or was not SA 33 years ago, so here's the out. No, that never happened. That never happened. So you can't conflate the two. It's crazy.
From that wonderful perspective, like, hey, this child may not have come out of me, but this child sees me as a father. I have been the only father he knows. You not even consider that automatically. You have labeled her a whore. You have also labeled the child a bastard because now it's no longer yours.
No, she labeled that kid a bastard. She is the untrustworthy one. She made sure that if he does not feel like a father no more, that's her fault. That's her fault. That's not his fault. That's her fault.
Can you be so quick to erase two people that mean the world to you so fast, OT?
I promise you, once he find out he's been lied to, it's just one person, and it's a kid. It's not two people you love. No, that love goes out the goddamn window. That love goes right. One of those loves go right out the window. The other one is the contention of having to fall in love again with the lie for oncoming time. So if the kid is 10, right, and he's living under my roof, and I'm taking care of him every day for the last 10 years, and then tomorrow, after I find out the truth, I have to what? Put him out or put her out? I can't. Come on, yo. This is terrible.
So now I don't want this to sound like I'm not sympathetic to
Nah, don't give her
SA
nothing.
victims, right? Because that's a very heinous crime. But the whole point of this is, if that was the case, right? You are SA'd, right? Horrible situation, man. My heart goes out to you. But there are ways to manage this thing. You're married, though. This is what I call a married person. This is not like boyfriend, girlfriend. You're married. This is your husband.
Married or not, boyfriend or not, like, this is the person that you're bringing a child into the world with. You should and always should be honest. You should always be honest about that. Him and her should always be honest.
Supposed to be your best thing. If there's anybody you're supposed to be able to tell or open up to like that, is him.
What if this was an extremely religious man that does not, like, he married you a virgin and he doesn't want to hear that kind of story?
Oh my God. So he got you as a virgin. And then you got SA'd. So now you've had sex with two men. And you never tell him that you've been SA'd. Even though you only give your body to that one man. And this is just wild. The cop out, the fucking her just trying to give excuses is just crazy.
Okay. So now let's think about this logically. Let's think about this logically. Yes. Okay, cool. Now that's how the man is, right? Let's think about it logically. So that man, regardless, gonna leave you if he knows when it happened, at the beginning of when it happened, or 10 years later when he do DNA test. Either way, he gonna leave you.
Absolutely. And he should.
So no, based on that guy, no. No.
Are heartless.
Cool. But this is my thing.
Men who leave after being lied to are heartless. Not the woman who's been lying for the last 10 years. Not the woman who hid the truth, right? Not the woman who been SA'd, was a victim, and passed on the victim, right? Or victimizing onto her partner and child. Right.
What I'm saying is not heartless. I can see why you're saying it's heartless because you built a bond with them. But then you have to also understand this though, right? Some people, right? That's just that little information changes a lot. It's like, let me give you an example now. You're married to somebody, right? You guys have been married for 15, 20 years. Let's say 20 years, right? You now find out on the 20th year, this guy cheated on you in the first year. Hold on. He cheated on you in the first year, and he never cheated again. After he felt so bad, and he's like, I'm never doing this again. And he's been faithful for the last 19 years.
Yeah.
Would that 1 year affect everything?
No.
I feel like you said that because you want to win this conversation.
No, it shouldn't. Especially even the last, however much time she's been happy in that relationship. If he cheated in the first year, don't get me wrong, he's wrong for doing that. But her not being mad enough to want to leave that makes sense. Like, I don't think she's just trying to win that argument. I think that kind of makes sense.
But most women, that 1 year, they cannot overlook that fact that you cheated on me. They will be so gung-ho on it.
They may be gung-ho enough to want to get a little cheat back, which I don't believe in, but they may be spiteful, right? They may want revenge. But if they're content or happy in that relationship and they found out you cheated in the year one, I think depending on how well you've been after year one, especially if you came out and be honest, I could see 75% of the women being like, this is something we can get past, either via through therapy or just through a conversation or, just you being honest. So
they will forget that, this 19 years you are faithful. That 1 year where you fuck up, they will be so on it.
I just feel like, Oti, at the end of the day,
Okay.
To me, what you're saying is only valid if that woman has been a cheater and she has a pattern.
She is a cheater. Like I said, imagine she says she's been SA'd 10 years ago, right? She does not report it. Now, there is situations where women are actually SA'd and they don't report it to either the police or the family. Okay, I get that. But how much percent of the women are going into that knowing like, oh, I fucked up and I'm going to a fucked up situation, versus the women who are like, I'm completely oblivious.
But I feel like once we hear paternity fraud, we automatically assume that
Prison.
there's a woman who is purposely pinning another child.
Because most of the time, that's
And most of the time, that's exactly what's going on. It's exactly what's going on.
exactly what it is.
Looking at other factors that can
So you're trying to tell me?
contribute to that.
So you're trying to tell
We
me?
don't have the stats on the circumstances as to what
Stats
is
on the
causing
circumstances. We have
things
common
to
sense.
happen.
So because we don't have the stats, that's why you will now lean.
Absolutely.
Hold on now. Hold on. I need to hold on. Because we don't have the stats,
Yeah.
you now want to lean towards the fact that the stats could be like this. Because we don't have the stats.
Yeah.
You now want to it could be from because we don't have the stats. But it can't be it's really from women out
Just
here
lying.
creeping.
Yeah.
Alright.
Until we have the stats, we cannot just
Until
judge
we have the
automatically
stats.
that women are just going around lying. What about men that keep?
Zero accountability. Zero. Guys, ladies, if this is your friend or she reminds you of one of your homegirls, get rid of her. If you don't get rid of her, fellas, get rid of her. Oh my God, that was terrible, y'all. What a terrible take, y'all. This woman tried every angle to not make the woman guilty for not being SA'd. No woman's guilty of being SA'd, right? That's not their fault. They're a victim. But to not pass off the information and pass on the victimizing to her potential partner and to the child 10 years later, who's like, you're almost as guilty as the perpetrator, because the perpetrator made a bad decision, right? Made you a victim. And instead of finding justice, whether you go to your husband or the police or some kind of help, you decide to say, I'm gonna internalize this and pass on this trauma to the two people I'm gonna pretend to love, right? The two people who, the person that helped me made the baby, and when this baby come, I'm gonna lie to this kid for 10 years until the honest truth comes out. This is a disgusting take. And I truly feel bad for men who have to go through this situation where they are so emotionally involved with a woman's lie, aka a child that's not his. They're so involved with that lie that they will be good fathers. You know, these would be the men who take care of things in the house. And the woman goes into this knowing that she like, he the best provider, so if I put the kid on him, I got 10 years. Or if I put it on Pookie, I got 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna raise this kid by myself. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Zero count. 99% of the situation that turns out in that way is the woman's fault. Absolutely. Is she wrong? Is it her fault for being SA'd? No. Is it she wrong for passing on the trauma? Absolutely. And with that, I bid you guys a good night. Peace.